Hello and welcome to the Unwritten Life. I went to the market. I mentioned it last video, or actually the one before, because the last one was just music, because sometimes that's all you need, or at least it's all I need. But yeah, I went to the market. It was interesting. I'm gonna be moving in and out of frame, I think, today, because big puzzle. So I hope you will be able to hear me, and I'll try to remember to show you like a pan of the whole thing when I'm done. But yeah, ooh, maybe I can do that too. And you can't see any of what I'm putting in right now. That's gonna be fun, right? I don't know. Anyway, I listened to you guys that said I should go to the market and have a booth, and I did that. And it was interesting. I mean, I absolutely melted for a while because it was so warm. It was like insanely warm. So that was not the most ideal, I think you would say, because it was so freaking hot. So freaking hot. And I was placed not exactly ideally, but maybe I was. I feel like it's hard to maybe not decide is the right word. Oh my god, this puzzle is like so big. But I was placed somewhere very hot. It was not a cloud in the sky that day, which sounds like a good thing, except, I repeat, it was hot. It was bright sun all day, and I have a skin that, you know, I got red hair, I got light skin, I burn easily, so I kept lathering on with sunscreen to avoid getting burned, and I wore a hat and like tried to do what I could. But, you know, you can do as much as you want. It's still not always enough. So that was the first thing, or okay, not the first thing, but that was the thing that affected me, I think, the most, at least for a while, because wow, I felt like I was continuously melting. Nope, that one does not go there. So that was his own struggle, you know, just simply the try not to melt. So that was fun. They're not, you know, I'm not meant to melt. Humans are generally not meant to melt. I don't know how warm it was, but it was to the point where sitting in the sun for a long time would not be advisable. And I was on the asphalt in the parking lot. No shade, bright sun, no clouds. So yeah, that was it was actually so warm. And I mean, I'm Norwegian. We don't have the same heat that some people have in some areas of the world, but it was certainly hot enough for me. In fact, it was kind of too hot for me. Don't get me wrong, I enjoy it, but also I melt. I literally just sat there and I could feel like my body like evaporating. Is that the right word? Just being drained of liquids because it was so warm. Everything just, yeah, I think evaporated would be the correct word. Just, you know, if you put water in a bowl outside when in the bright sun and it's that warm, yeah, it will evaporate. Like turn to damp and just like float off. I felt like I was floating off. Not the most ideal thing in the world, I have to say, because yeah, it was not that comfortable, I will fully admit. So, but I went to market. It was from 11, and you know, we had to be there earlier to set up, so it was from 11 till 4. That's a 5-hour market. I've never sat at such a long market before, and I don't know if I would want to do that again, because that was long. But I did go. I like that kind of thing worked out, but yeah, it was warm. And I brought my stuff, not everything that I've made. I brought enough stuff that it could fill like a kind of carry-on suitcase that I can pull with. So because I didn't know where I would be sitting, but I ended up sitting smack in the parking lot on the hot asphalt, melting. Not quite ideal, but you know, you do what you do. And I said I'd be there, so I showed up and all. So that part was, you know, okay. Kind of, except the melting part. Not that pleasant. But, and also I'm starting to figure something out about markets, because I'm used to, like, I worked in the service industry one way or another a lot of my working life. So when I'm at places like that, I say hi to my neighbors and try to do some small talk. I don't like small talk. According to some, I'm decent at it, but I don't like it. But I'm so used to that you're supposed to do it, so I just do it and just keep my fingers crossed and hope they don't think I'm completely weird, you know, or weirder than normal or something. So, yeah. But I chit chat with the people around, and I don't know. I think some of them think I'm a little odd because they don't seem to want to interact with their kind of like neighbor booths or the people, and yeah. So I did what I always do. So I did that, and I had a limited feedback in the conversations. So maybe I should kind of, I don't know, try not to, I'm not saying I'm going to ignore the people next to me, but maybe not try to chat. I don't know. It feels weird though, you know? Or maybe you don't know. I don't know. But to me, it feels weird because it feels rude not to say hello to the people standing next to you when you're at the market and you have a booth. So I chat always, kind of almost whether I like it or not. I just do it because it's a habit, I guess, at this point. And yes, doing small talk without being very good at it and not really liking it all that much can actually become like somewhat of a habit, or more like a, maybe not a habit, more like I feel like I should, so I'm just doing it and hoping that it'll be okay, I guess, maybe. I don't know. So, yeah. I'm sure some of the people think I'm a little weird, but guess what? I am. It's okay. We good. I'm okay with that. I've come to realize that I am who I am. So, but yeah, that's something. So I went to market, brought all my stuff, put it out on a table, and like was done putting things out way earlier than a lot of the other people, so I just sat there. Luckily, I mean, I'm smart enough to know that it won't take me that long, and I'm easily bored sometimes, so I made sure to bring a knitting project. I'm knitting a couple of socks and a crochet project. Because I started crocheting a market bag, I guess you could call it. So I brought those two things. So that was okay. So I was just sitting there in the bright sun, wearing my hat, putting on sunscreen on my arms. I forgot one place though, because my hat didn't cover just this part here, so I got a sunburn right here. So annoying. Luckily not too bad, but yeah, not the most pleasant either. But I've had a lot worse burn than that, so I'm not gonna complain too much. Just saying. So that was, I really need to learn that I don't have to talk to the people in the neighboring booth. Or at the same time, do I need to be like the other ones? Do I have to be so, I don't know. To me, it feels rude not to even say hi, basically. So I do that. Say hi, that is. So maybe I'll just do what I often do and stay me. What do you think? Should I should I continue to be me and maybe annoying to some people? Or should I do what makes me feel rude and, you know, not say hi? I don't know. I find that, I don't know. What would you have done in such a space? Would you have said hi to the people in the booths next to you, or would you just basically ignored them? What would you have done? Please tell me. I think I need some feedback there. To like, am I out of line or am I not rude? Like I feel, honestly, some of the others are. I mean, I don't blame them. It's just maybe that's just who they are or how they're raised or whatever. But it doesn't mean that I have to be like them, right? Because, you know, I tried to pretend to be like other people for a lot of my life, and it just, I didn't quite make it, so I'm just, whatever at this point. Yeah. Where was I going with that? Anyway, let me know. Should I do what makes me feel rude, or should I continue to potentially annoy other people? I don't know. You tell me. And so I was sitting there in the bright hot sun, having laid out my stuff, and you know, it was like 45 minutes till the market started. So I was just like, oh, cool. I'm just gonna sit here. And I thought I had a bad placement. Turns out it wasn't as bad. But it was super hot, and not everyone was like there to spend money, so to speak. And most of my stuff is more geared towards winter, and considering how hot it was, yeah, not the perfect combination there, I will admit. But I didn't just bring my stuff this time. I brought stuff that my sister made. I don't have anymore because she's made these cute little cats. And they made so many people stop and comment on them and thinking they were so cute. And turns out I'm gonna need my sister to make more because they were really popular. They were a big hit. I'm very grateful for that because that was the only thing I sold. I brought a suitcase, not a big suitcase, but a small suitcase. I brought a suitcase full of stuff to sell that I made. And the only thing I did sell was the stuff that my sister made. It's great. I mean, I made so much stuff and I need to sell it, and no one almost even looked at it. That was like, oh my god. I need to something. I'm not even sure what it is. Sure, I understand that I probably need to have a different gosh, what would be the word? A different type of product to sell, because I had wool hats, wool socks, wool baby blankets, wool wrist warmers, crocheted table runners, and my sister's little cats that she'd made. So yeah, I sold out actually of those cute little cats to the point where I was packing up my booth by the end, and I had 2 of the slightly bigger cats left, and I was like, yeah, I'm not gonna sell any more now, so I'm just gonna pack it up, because the people around me were starting to pack up. So I figured I didn't think I'd sell more, so I figured I'd pack up too, and what do you know? Someone that had been there slightly earlier, there were a group of people, and then one of them had bought one of the little cats, and then another girl was like, oh, and they saw me packing up, and they were like, oh, so, and I was like, you're looking for the cats, aren't you? And they were like, yeah. So I was like, well, I got these 2 left. And they were like, okay, which one do we get? No, I basically said, just get them both. You know, they're the last ones I have. I might not have them again in a very long time, and you might not see them again. So, you know, just take them both. And the mom and the daughter, I assume, were a bit like, yeah, we don't know. The daughter wanted one, and the mother was like, yeah, I don't know. And then what I assume was the dad, who was just like, yeah, we should just take them both. So they did. And then I was literally sold out. I did not have any more of the cats. And then I was just like, yep, definitely back it up now, because ain't no one gonna buy any of the stuff I made. Which is sad, because I really want to sell the stuff I make. You know, but I am not in control of what people buy for me, apparently. Because if I were, I would have sold out all the things I've made too. Yeah, the stuff that my sister made, obviously, because, you know, whenever we get stuff out, we get money in, and we can buy more yarn. I should probably hold off on buying more yarn, but the crochet I'm currently doing with the yarn that I just bought. I shouldn't have bought the yarn, I know, but it was, you know, I wanted to, okay? I wanted to buy the yarn. It was on sale. It's still expensive, because yarn is expensive, and it was not a cheap yarn that I saw and liked. I kind of wish it was, because apparently, currently, I'm not selling the stuff I make. But you know, I am making a market bag now. I've never made that before, and I really enjoy it. It's going fairly quick too, so that's nice. But you know, I've never made that before. It's a new thing. It's a new thing that I really hope someone will buy at some point, because it's kind of getting ridiculous now. This is my 5th market, and I have not had the best luck of my last markets. So I kind of needed a win. And yeah, sure, it was a win selling anything, even though it was the stuff that my sister made. So, you know, she obviously made more money than me. But at the same time, I didn't have to spend time making the stuff, but I did get, because I was sitting in the market and selling the stuff. She wasn't there. So I did earn a little bit of commission. Is that what it's called? You know, when you sell stuff for other people, but you still also get some money even though you didn't make it. In this case, I didn't make it, but I still got some money for it because I was sitting on the market selling it. I really appreciated that. And how that was done was basically a little bit of like, what am I guessing for this? That's how I priced the stuff. Is that the good way to price it? Well, it worked. Some people thought, well, like, ooh, no, that's expensive. And other people thought, like, yeah, you know what? It's not that bad. And honestly, it wasn't that bad. I felt like I sold it quite cheaply, to be honest. There is always going to be someone that disagrees and says it's expensive, but I can pretty much also guarantee that those people thinking it's expensive, they don't do crafts. They do not do crafts if they think it's expensive, because let's be honest, it was, yeah, craft takes time, long time. And I mean, the cats are like less than 10, it's like 7 centimeters tall. And they take my sister 3 hours to make. And I sold them for $100. That is like beyond cheap, especially since the material costed like, the materials for the little ones were $50 and for the slightly bigger was $55. That was the material cost. I, as I said, did not quite know how to price them nor what people would be willing to pay for them. So I made a guess, and you know, I'd say it worked out pretty well because I sold out. So technically, in a way, my sister sold out. She just wasn't there, but I sold out on her behalf. So now she is very excited and get to make more. And I'm just like, well, I don't really need to make more stuff because I didn't sell any of mine. What am I doing? I'm making more stuff because that's what I do. I make stuff. But yeah, I sat at a market. I sold 8 little cats and 2 big ones. So in that sense, I sold cats for 1,000 Norwegian kroners, which is almost unheard of. I mean, it's the highest. What? No. It's the highest amount I have gotten in on a market ever. It's my 5th market, so like they're limited to what I can compare it to, but still. I mean, it's better than nothing. But it's the highest. It's the highest amount of money I had sold for in on a market. Then again, it was also the longest market I've always also sat at. So I don't exactly know how to compare it. And I'm starting to struggle with the pieces here too. But the point is, I sold out of the cats that my sister made, which was great because then my sister got some money, and my sister had set her price on. Basically, she gave me a price that like, this is what I want, and then you can choose the price. And yeah, apparently my choosing the price to sell them for $100 each, not the worst idea in the world because I sold out. So that part felt real good. I will fully admit that felt so good that I wasn't completely off base when it came to the pricing. And also, you know, having something little and cute that kind of lure people in. I really wish that more people had bought other stuff too, but I shouldn't complain too much. People did buy stuff, and because I was sitting there selling and my sister were nowhere around, I did earn some money from selling the things. So that makes me very happy. So I like, a part of me definitely consider this market a big success because I sold stuff and I got the most money in total. I didn't keep everything, obviously, because my sister. But at the same time, I didn't sell any of my stuff. I didn't sell any of the things that I made, which, I mean, that was the original goal, that I were to sell things I made. The goal of sitting at a market is not just to sell the stuff that my sister makes. Then what am I going to do with all the stuff I make? I mean, I have a lot of stuff now. I mean, so yeah. It was not a success because I didn't sell any of my stuff. At the same time, it was a huge success. I sold out of the little cats, and that made it so I made the most money in a market I ever had, except, as I said, the cut that went to my sister, which means I didn't get as much, but at the same time, because since I priced it so high, I did get a fair amount of money, which I'm very happy about it. And I asked my sister, and she, from what she told me, she didn't mind. She was just glad to get some money back in and the ability to make more cats, because I sold out and said, I'm gonna need some more for the next market, whenever that may be. Because I don't know when the next market is gonna be, but I'm definitely gonna sit at another market, because I mean, I do enjoy it, but it was god dang warm by the end there. Luckily, there were some other people that were sitting in a place that had a bit more shade, and I eventually ended up switching from one side to the other because there were space, and that way I didn't have to, well, melt in the sun anymore, which was great because, yeah, as I said, I was starting to get some sunburn, and that was not fun. I don't like sunburns. They're very not pleasant. They're very uncomfortable. So I try to not get sunburned. I mean, they're itchy, and then you peel, and then just, no, it's not good. So by the end, I was sitting on the other side, not in the middle of the parking lot, in the middle of the blazing, glaring hot sun. I was sitting on the other side in the shade, continuously doing my crochet, because, you know, I'm not very good at just sitting still and like flicking my thumbs or whatever, because that'd be boring real fast. So, I mean, I got some progress made on my on my crochet and my knitting, because at some point the crochet, I'm very confused. I cannot make the math work. Turned out later I had made a mistake on my crochet, so I did need to unravel pretty much all the crochet I had done at the market. So, you know, I guess I probably should have switched over to the knitting earlier. I didn't, but it's fine. I fixed it. Is now as it should be again. So, yeah, I am, I mean, I wasn't sure if I was going to do the market. I had some hesitations. The melting part, wasn't even in the consideration, but maybe it should have been. Because melting like that, ooh, I do not recommend melting, because it's very unpleasant. But it worked out, you know? It worked out. I sat at a market. I sold some stuff. I have since shared the money with my sister, so we're all good. And my my sister have already started the process of making more cats for me to sell. So I better find another market to sit on. So I can actually sell the cats that she's gonna be giving to me. So yeah, that's yeah. I think that was it. I have been working hard outside lately because gardening. I finally, instead of having a can that I have to walk halfway across my property, I finally have a hose that can reach, so I can put it on and leave it on for a bit. So that's great, but as soon as you start watering and things you want to grow start to grow in a little, but the weeds, they tend to grow way faster than anything else, which means I've been weeding a lot. And it takes time. Weeding takes so much time. But, that's what I get for doing the things that I want to do, also known as growing food. And it's not that much food this year. I'm totally hoping for more food next year, because it's not that much food this year. But it'll figure it out. It'll work out. And I'm starting to just move pieces instead of putting things together now, I feel. So I'm gonna go with it was a raging success, the market, but also I didn't sell any of my stuff. But I'm still happy that I went, and I'm glad you all convinced me that I should. Thank you. And thank you so much for watching. I hope you have enjoyed this little chat of mine, and I will talk to you in the next one. Bye! And just a little quick look here. And here. This one I finished.